business in football, you always need a game plan. Show me the money.
¿Qué tal, amigos? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos. Episodio número 5 de Game Plan Scout In. Día de Acción de Gracias, Thanksgiving en la Unión Americana. Triple cartelera. Y pues bueno, los pronósticos prácticamente se cumplieron al pie de la letra. Algunos sufriendo más, otros menos. Pero al final el triunfo fue para los tres locales. Los Leones de Detroit y lo que se está comentando en torno a esos últimos segundos en el staff de coacheo de Chicago y por supuesto también de Caleb Williams. Muchos ecos hay alrededor. Posteriormente los Dallas Cowboys, segundo triunfo por semana consecutiva ante los Giants con Drew Lock, pero matemáticamente se incrementan un poco las posibilidades para el equipo de la estrella solitaria. El caso de los Giants, es dramático lo que está sucediendo. Novena temporada en las últimas 11 que tienen más de 10 derrotas. 10 o más derrotas en 9 de las últimas 11 temporadas para el equipo de Nueva York. Y por la noche, el triunfo de los Green Bay Packers, unos Dolphins que cuando la temperatura es menor a los 5 grados centígrados o los 0, no hay forma de que funcione el equipo de Mike McDaniels. Así se llevó a cabo el Thanksgiving. Por supuesto, a todos nuestros amigos en los Estados Unidos, feliz Día de Acción de Gracias. Y aquí estamos. Ya veo a mi buen amigo, el coach Kevin Kelly. Coach, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. How are you?
Glad to be here. Special week for us, Thanksgiving week. So wish you could be here to take part in that. It's a lot of time to be thankful and then time to eat. So, but it's a good holiday.
And now in this chapter number 5 in Game Plan Scout In, we need to talk about the running backs. Amazing season at this moment to Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles and Derek Henry and the Baltimore Ravens. And we have this match in this week. How looks to you? What means to you this time of the season with these two great guys in the running attack?
Well, you know, when I was growing up with the NFL, and you're talking in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you and I talked about Walter Payton.
Yeah.
You know, and I grew up with Franco Harris and Tony Dorsett and those guys. Those were the stars of the league, even more than the quarterbacks and the receivers. It was the running backs. I grew up wanting to be a running back because that was the star. That was the guy that got the ball. And over time, the running backs have kind of, not been as popular. But with guys like Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry coming back, and I also should have mentioned Barry Sanders, the great Barry Sanders, right? And Eric Dickerson and those guys. But it went through a time of regression. And now with Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley starring in the games and being like major forces in the game, it's bringing that running back. And that's good to see. You know, for a person that likes tradition, we talked about Thanksgiving tradition. To me, running backs are traditional NFL football.
Yeah, and you and I watched this guy in 1984, Eric Dickerson, with Los Angeles Rams at that time, making something amazing. Para nuestros amigos en español, la memoria, por supuesto, ¿no?, de Eric Dickerson y esa campaña de 1984, donde supera la barrera de las 2,000 yardas y al día de hoy sigue vigente el récord de 2,105 yardas. Coach, what is your opinion about, this great year for Eric Dickerson, 1984, plus 2,000 yards for a running back? Is one of the ages, Eric Dickerson, and now we have two guys pointing his arrows to that great record in the NFL.
Man, I don't know because it's one thing to maintain that pace for 2/3 of the year, but when they get later in the year, they get beat up and bruised up, but I will say this: what makes this interesting and it makes it a real shot. Both those guys are averaging over 6 yards per carry this year. Okay, now if you want to think about how awesome that is, if you look back at some of the great years, if you average 5 yards per carry, you're doing well. Now, what that means is that 6 yards per carry, they're not having to carry the ball as many times as Eric Dickerson did, so they're not getting as many hits. That means maybe they can sustain this. And the other thing would be, both those teams are playing on playoff contender teams, so you tend to feed the ball to your best players when you're competing for the playoffs and competing for home field advantage. So, I mean, right now it looks like there's every reason to give those guys the ball and for them to keep doing what they're doing because they're a major reason that those teams are winning games. And, I mean, Philadelphia, look what Saquon Barkley has done for them. I mean, he's made their defense better because he's on offense and can help them make more first downs, keep that defense off the field. And Derrick Henry, every time I say his name, I get mad because the Cowboys should have had him, but he's he's in the perfect offense for him. And I'm happy for him because he's supposed to be, for everybody that talks to me, he's a good man and he works really hard on his body in the off season. And but it's a great time to be a football fan right now. And I think both of those, wouldn't it be cool if both of those guys passed Eric Dickerson this year?
Oh, no.
That'd
would
be
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 2,000 yards is not an easy thing. But at this moment, I remember a little about Eric Dickerson. Today is more easy, YouTube. But what's an amazing running back. Do you remember those years? I have some memories about Eric Dickerson. Was an astounding man.
Yeah. The big thing about him was running backs were a little bit shorter back then. And Eric Dickerson was a tall, big figure. Now, he wasn't quite as big as Derrick Henry, but people didn't think he could play running back in the NFL. A lot of people didn't because they thought he was too big of a target. And when he broke in, I mean, his first year in the league, he had 1,800 yards for the Rams as a rookie. And people thought he couldn't, like I say, some people thought he couldn't run at all. Then he did that. Then his next year he hit 2,105. And he changed the game a little bit because then they started looking for ability to run the ball instead of we need shorter guys that are faster or shorter guys that can juke. He had speed and power, and he had one good move. He would boom, one move, and then he's gone. And so he helped. I mean, he obviously, when you get a guy like that, he changed the game, and I think he opened it up for some guys to come later on.
Yeah, and at this moment, maybe Derrick Henry is more like Eric Dickerson, no? Because the size.
Yeah, and he runs up high.
Exactly.
He doesn't run low. He runs up high. Yeah.
And talking about running backs, evidently we need to talk in this flashback here in Game Plan Scouting. Barry Sanders. Wow. For much people, the best running back in history. Not for the numbers, for the way he ran in the field. Barry Sanders, the Detroit Lions. What a flashback we have in this episode number 5, Coach. What are your memories about this great running back?
Well, and really what makes him so great, if you look at him, number one, he went out while he was still really good. When he left his last year, he ran for 1,500 yards. The year before that, it was 2,053 yards. He left while he was in his prime. He still had good years left. What makes him really amazing, though, is that he did all those great yards on a bad team. Yeah. They were bad. And he was the focal point. Right now, if you're Derrick Henry, it's a little easier because you've got Lamar Jackson. He can throw the ball. Lamar Jackson can run the ball. So you can't focus it all on Derrick Henry. Same thing with Saquon Barkley. You got Jalen Hurts that can run the ball. You got A.J. Brown that can catch the ball. Devontae Smith. They can throw the ball. And so all the attention's not on Saquon and not on Derrick Henry. But all the attention was on Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
I went to a Monday Night Football game in Dallas when Barry Sanders played in Dallas. And I got to see Barry Sanders and my Cowboys live and in person. And Barry Sanders, he ran
season,
for like
you have it, Emmitt Smith?
Yeah. And so Barry Sanders ran for like 190 something yards on the Cowboys and beat the Cowboys. And it was a one-man show. And Derrick Henry runs over people. Saquon Barkley has some moves and can run over you. Barry Sanders just did things that you didn't think a human being could do. And he's absolutely amazing. And I'll when I die, I will still think he's the best running back that's ever played the game.
How was that moment you can see live Barry Sanders? How was for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, like, chill bumps. When the game started, I had chill bumps. They used to announce the starters in the games and stuff. And I got chill bumps because I knew I was watching greatness. I didn't know how great, but now that 30 years, 40 years have passed by, 30 years, 35 years, I know that's real greatness. And I knew I was watching it then, but I had no idea I was watching the greatest running back ever at the time. And I did. I got to see the greatest running back ever. It's like going to see Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody have that talent, that unique skills like Barry Sanders do. It's like smoke. You saw it, but you can't touch it.
Yeah. You think you're about to grab it. There's a lot of this, and he's gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he still had the power to run you over. He ran over a lot of guys too, but it's amazing. He's one of his best highlights. If the fans on you, they need to go on YouTube and just put Barry Sanders highlights. It's well worth the 5 minutes you'll spend watching it. It's amazing.
Pitch out to Barry, left side, hole, 35, 40, Barry on the run to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, look out, 30, they'll never catch him, see you later, touchdown, Lions, Barry Sanders, 68 yards. Draw to Barry, across midfield, 45, he's in the open, 40, 30, he's off to the races, 20, 15, 10, 5, gone, touchdown, Barry Sanders.
And a storm can happen in the next 5 minutes.
Got it away to Barry off the right. Barry to the 45 and bumps to the 40, breaks it 35, 30, he's gone! Unbelievable! Touchdown! Lions, Barry Sanders! Oh my gosh, what a run!
And Barry Sanders is the only guy with plus 2,000 yards in college football and in the NFL. The only guy in history of this great sport.
Well, and that's I mean, you and I both said we think he's the greatest, and you sit there and look at it and you go, well, you must be the greatest if you're the only human being that's ever done something like that. And 2,000 and 1,000. Now, I will say this, his high school coach is what messed up, because his high school coach never got him 2,000 yards, but he averaged almost 10 yards a carry in high school. And so you don't have to give it to him very much to get 2,000 yards. But in college, he was phenomenal. I want to say with Oklahoma State, and I didn't look up his college stats. I think he had like 2,600 yards.
Yeah.
And that was in like 12 games or 13 games. That wasn't, how many was it?
11 games in that 1988. Yes,
yeah,
1988.
So he averaged over 200 yards a game. And he did it to do it in college and in pros and in the NFL and be the only player. If you're the only person to ever do something, you're the greatest, and he is.
And we need to talk about the Heisman Trophy, and the Maxwell Award, because Ashton Jeanty, the running back of Boise State, what a kind of a season. Plus 2,000 yards at this moment, with one more game in the regular season. What a guy. No, it's amazing. It's shocking the world.
He's a freak of nature, that guy.
He's a little bit Barry. He's got a little Barry Sanders in him, and he's also got a little Saquon Barkley in him, and he's also got a little Derrick Henry in him. Like he could cut a little better than Saquon Barkley, but not quite as good as Barry Sanders. But he's a powerful guy too. When he gets close to that end zone, he runs through people instead of around people to get to it. And he's already got 2,000 yards, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm hoping is I don't know, you know, we're gonna talk about it in a minute, but to me, he's the best player in the country right now. So when you talk about Heisman Trophy, I don't know. If you said pick a guy, I think I would pick Ashton Genty to be my first player I would pick. Mm-hmm. And so maybe we'll get lucky if he wins the Heisman. Maybe the NFL will be like, maybe we ought to give this MVP to a running back this year. So I'm hoping it goes running back for the two highest awards in football.
Yeah, no, maybe it's the perfect storm in this season, no, for the running back position.
Could be, because you got three great ones. For him to already have 2,000 yards, and he's still got another game left and a bowl game, maybe a playoff, maybe 2 or 3 playoff games. I mean, he might hit, 2,800 yards or something.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
But in this running for the Heisman Trophy, is the humankind is sometimes can understand very well, because all the spotlight, all the applause, the ovation is in Colorado. But for you, Travis Hunter have the position to fight with Ashton Genty to the Heisman Trophy?
I don't think so. I mean, I think some of it's because of who his coach is, Deion Sanders. And Deion's touting him, saying he's the best player in college football. And so you got that. And then people, like you said, people are just enamored with offense and defense, because not many guys do that. Well, not many guys run the ball like Ashton Genty either, So, but I think people, if you look back, the last time a Heisman Trophy winner on defense won it, and Travis Hunter's mainly a defensive guy. I think it was Charles Woodson. What did they do with Charles Woodson? They put him on offense and on defense some, and he wins the Heisman because nobody else does that. I think people are more enamored with the offense, defense, playing both sides of the ball because nobody else is doing it, than they are with actually his game. And he's a good player. Yeah. I don't have anything against him either. But to me, Ashton Genty, when you walk out there and you finish watching a game, you're like, that guy's the best player I've seen this year. And when you watch Travis Hunter, I think you're like, that's a really good football player on offense and a really good football player on defense. But I've seen a lot of really good football players on offense, and I've seen a lot on defense. I'm not giving him the trophy just because he plays both sides. He's not the best player at either side. So if he's not the best at either side, I'm not giving him the trophy.
Exactly. No, the Heisman Trophy, let me say at this kind of way, Heisman Trophy is equal to the MVP in the NFL. It's for the best player, the most valuable player, not only for his team, for college football. And at this moment, Ashton is the best player in college football.
Yeah, I think so. If you take Ashton Genty out of the Boise State team, they're not nearly as good. If you take Travis Hunter, like say you take him off of offense, well, he had a stretch of games where he had 17 yards receiving, 26 yards receiving, 55 yards receiving. I mean, they're fine without him. They're absolutely fine. Take Ashton Genty off Boise State's team and see if they're the same team. They're not the same team without him.
Yeah, exactly. No, what a kind of chapter this number 5 we have, Coach. My amigo Kevin Kelly is an amazing for guys like you and me, talking about the heart of this game, because in the early days they don't throw the ball. I know you are an offensive mind, But the heart of this game is running the ball.
Yeah, and it has been for years. Run the ball and play defense. That's what everybody talks about, and you can use the pass to set up the run and all that. But if you've got a guy, if you've got a Derrick Henry, if you've got an Ashton Jeanty, if you've got a Barry Sanders, if you've got a Saquon Barkley, you're going to win some games just because you've got that player. Because throwing the ball, I love throwing the ball, but it's still hard to throw and catch. It's easy when you can just hand it off to Derrick Henry and know he's going to get you some yards. And so I think forever the running back will be the heart and soul. And you and I have got to see that for a long time. The younger people are just now getting a glimpse, and I think it's awesome. I think it's good that they're getting to see that.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the joke, but it's a reality. Maybe in the Jerry Jones mind, it's not that possible. And in the John Mara mind, because they have Saquon Barkley, and let it go. And now they don't have Daniel Jones. John Mara and Jerry Jones need to watch this chapter of game plan.
They both do. I don't even think they need to watch. I think they figure it out. I think they're like, what are we doing? I think if you could get a camera on them right now and they were watching this show, this would be their look. What did we do? We messed up. So, but I hope they watch game plan. I hope they get a glimpse of us.
Yeah, maybe we can have this opportunity to be some kind of advisor.
That'd be nice. Tell them we'll do it for free for a while too, just to test the water.
Absolutely. No, we can send to Jerry Jones or John Mara or both of those a WhatsApp telling what the Cowboys and Giants need to do.
Thank you, my friend, my amigo, my brother, Coach Kevin Calais. Times always fly, and always beat us. But at this moment, in this night, in this day, you need to run for the turkey.
Run for the turkey, because the turkey's running away from me, I'll tell you that. Because I'm going to catch him and then I'm going to eat him.
Yeah, we need to run for the turkey like Rocky Balboa do in Rocky 2 with the chicken.
Yeah, yeah, chase the chicken, chase the turkey.
Now,
well,
Coach,
from America to you, I know y'all don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I hope you have a happy Thursday. And take a minute, and what I like to do, and I like to tell people to do for our holiday. The holiday is kind of a made-up deal. I mean, it's a weird story. But what I really like about it is a lot of people on this day. It's called Thanksgiving. I really try to make my family stop and be thankful for everything we have. People always want more than they have. But when you take time to look and be thankful for what you do have, you look around, and if people are watching this show on the internet, they've got a pretty good life. It's better off than a lot of people. And so I'm really thankful for all that I have, and I'm thankful for family, and I'm thankful for friends like you. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to talk about the NFL. We've got a lot to be thankful for, and that's what I love about this holiday.
Yeah, the same. And one more week.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great weekend with football. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We have 5 days to watch football, college and pro. Thank you, Coach. See you soon.
All right, Oscar, have a good week, buddy.
Una maravilla, ¿no? Y lo que está sucediendo con la posición de los corredores. Lo hemos platicado en ediciones anteriores aquí en Game Plan Scout In. Es la revalidación de la posición de corredor. Hoy, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry apuntando a esa marca de las 2,000 yardas y por qué no pensar en romper la marca de Eric Dickerson. Varios jugadores lo han conseguido ya, el superar las 2,000 yardas. Lo platicábamos, ¿no? La etiqueta de MVP debe estar colgando ahí, ¿no? Al menos en el sobre puede aparecer Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, y si superan las 2,000 yardas, me parece que tendría que ser indiscutible, como sucedió con Adrian Peterson en su momento. Faltan muchas semanas, hay muchos partidos que seguir, pero por lo pronto disfrutemos. Este domingo se enfrentan, sí, en el mismo terreno de juego, en la casa de los Ravens, 3 de los candidatos fuertes para ser el jugador más valioso: Lamar Jackson, Derek Henry y Saquon Barkley. Es un gran fin de semana de fútbol americano. En el colegial, por supuesto, la definición de las finales de los equipos que estarán formando el playoff. Gran partido, el de Texas contra Texas A&M. Hay muchos platillos a donde voltear, no solamente el pavo, que es el corazón de esta semana. Por lo pronto, nos estamos despidiendo. Gracias a todo el Game Plan Army a través de los diferentes contenidos que hacemos, la mañanera del fútbol americano, la mañanera de Game Plan, con el café americano de Lau Sandoval, por supuesto, Wonder Cowbird, Los Cuernos Largos, Game Plan Daily, Cleryburg. Vaya semana. La marea carmesí que, pues buscando un milagro, ahí está encendida la veladora aún para ver si alcanza la renta para llegar a los playoffs. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. See you soon. Enjoy this weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Feliz Día de Acción de Gracias a todos nuestros amigos en los Estados Unidos y aquí en México. A disfrutar. Se termina noviembre. Ya estamos arrancando el último mes de 2024. Muchas gracias a todos. Recuerden, @clériga en todas las redes, oscar.clériga en TikTok. See you soon.
In life, as in football, you always need a game plan. Show me the money.